Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akim, of course, call Haloyim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach as well. Peace and Shalom to the Akim out there and the elect. That's the men, women, and children selected to make it out of here from the coming nuclear destruction, all right? I'm the brother, Zion Olive, the DC camp, coming at you with another Our Ancient Hebrew Language video. It's been a while since I did one of those type of videos, Our Ancient Hebrew Language. But, we are Hebrew Israelites, and Hebrew is our language. So it's good every now and then to go into the Hebrew, okay? All right? It's beautiful to go into the Hebrew as much as we can, because that also helps to put away confusion, you see? A lot of people think they know what they're talking about a specific word, but when you go into the Hebrew, all right, it means something totally different than what people have been taught. All right. Nonetheless, let's get back to this. All right, our ancient Hebrew language is going to be the Shabath, okay, aka the Sabbath. Now, a lot of times you see Akim and Akwaf out there, they'll put Shabbat Shalom, which, the intention behind it is beautiful. The intention behind it, they're trying to wish you peace. Not wish. I don't want to say the word wish. They're trying to pray, all right, and bless you peace on the Sabbath. The intentions behind it is beautiful. Call Halom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But the actual word, all right, it's not Shabbat. It's Shabath. It almost looks like the word here where they say Sabbath. It's very close. It's Shabath. Okay. Now, this is Exodus 20 and verse 8. All right. Remember, all right, this is one of the going into the 10 commandments. Really, it's more than just the 10 commandments. Really, it's 613. All right. 613 plus, because even after the laws of Moses, you have commandments throughout the scriptures. Okay. Whatever the Lord tells you to do is a commandment. Okay. If he tells you to jump, you better start jumping. If you don't, you disobey this commandment. Okay. So it's more commandments that the Lord has given throughout the whole entire Bible. But 613 are the major, in dealing with the laws given unto Moses. Okay. All right. Now you see here, Exodus 20 and verse 8, all right, going into the major 10 commandments of that, right? It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, right? So that's going to this word, Sabbath. You go into the Hebrew, all right? And I'm going to go up to the Hebrew text up here as well, okay? But I'm going to go down. You see right here, it says the Sabbath. It's H or Hebrew 7676, all right? And then you can find that word in the concordance. Right? Now, the Hebrew word is a shah. Let me see if I can highlight it. It's a shah, a ba, and a tha. Shabath. Okay? Now, let's see how Esau pronounces it.
Strong's H7676. Shabath. Shabath.
He's damn near close. I mean, Shabath. I mean, it's a difference in a slight pronunciation, but he's correct. Shabath. Okay? Shabath. Right? You see? Shabath. Now, the transliteration of it looks like Sabbat, right? But it's really a Shah, a Ba, and a Tha. It's really Shabath, okay? And what does the word mean? Sabbath, Sabbath, okay? Day of Atonement. A Day of Atonement is treated like a Sabbath, absolutely. A Sabbath year, a week, all right? Because Sabbath means 7, okay? Right? Every Sabbath, every 7 days is a Sabbath, all right? So those are the different meanings to the word Sabbath, and we're going to go into the etymology, because like I always like to do whenever they say the word again in the definition, now it's time to go look up the word. I didn't mean to put 3 B's there. Now, Sabbath, you see, it says, see how they have Sabbath? It's 7th day of the week in the Jewish calendar. Really, it's supposed to be in the Israelite calendar. And they say Saturday. There's no such thing as Saturday. All right, these are new things that are added. When you go into the scriptures, you will not see Saturday. Even though when you look up the word, all right, they're going to have, in the definition, Saturday in a blue letter. Okay. That's something that has been added. Saturday is commonly acknowledged now. all right, as the seventh day, all right. But guess what? Some people recognize Sunday as the seventh day. But again, Saturday and Sunday are not the correct names for the actual Sabbath. There was no such thing as Saturday and Sunday. All right. It says, as observed by the Jews as a day of rest from secular employment and of religious observance, from Old French Shabbat and directly from the Latin Sabbatum, from Greek Sabbaton, from Hebrew Shabath. Now, of course, when we go back to this, you only see a Shah, a Ba, and a Tha. Now, is it wrong, okay, if you happen to see the word Shabath like this? Now, we know there's not two B's in Shabath in the Hebrew. But remember, this is these things have been transliterated into the English, okay? So the English is always going to look funny. All right. So you may see Shabath, okay, but when you spell it when you say it in the Lashwan Kodash, it's still going to be pronounced the same way, Shabath. So if a brother happens to put two B's in it and he's really trying to say Shabath, okay, you know what he's trying to say, right? Even with the two B's in the English, it's the same sound in the Hebrew. All right. Shabath. It's like sometimes you see, matter of fact, let me further explain what I'm talking about too, right? Now um, you have Yahweh Shai, right? You have Yahweh Shai. Sometimes you'll see a brother go like this, right? They'll say Yahweh Shai. They'll put the Heavenly Father's name fully, and then they'll put the SHI. But remember, this is in the English. Now, the two may have a difference in the English, but if you were to say them out loud, it will still say the same word. It will still be pronounced Yahweh Shai, no matter how you look at both of them. You see, the English often traps people up, but as long as you're really saying the actual sound, as long as everybody's saying a proper name, Yahweh Shai, really doesn't really matter how you spell it in the English. Okay, but we've been trying to fine tune things down for you to get it. In the Lashwan Kodash. You see. All right, so it's best to practice like that. It's best to spell it how it actually is, the best way we can from the Hebrew to the English. But if you were to see things similar to it, it's okay as long as it has the same sound. Okay, it's the same sound. If you get what I'm trying to say, Akim and Akwath, you see, right? But let's go back to the actual word. Okay, it says Shabath, a rest from, look, see, they have one B. See, Shabath. That's actually how you're supposed to spell it. See, I just I just explained it to, right? But that's actually how you actually supposed to spell it if you were to literate it to the English. Okay? But if you saw something like this, you know what they're trying to say. They're actually still pronouncing it the same exact way, right? So I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. All right. But really, this is still different than Shabbat. Now we're going to go into that briefly. See, when you go to Wikipedia, you see this word. Now, this is the word you often see Akim and Akwa put down. They put Shabbat, Shalom. See that? And Sabbat. Okay. All right. Now, it says rest or cease, completion, 7. Also called Shabbos by Ashkenazim. Those are the so-called Jews. It is Judaism's day of rest on the seventh day of the week, i.e. Saturday. Remember, we already broke down there's no such thing as Saturday. This is on this day, religious Jews remember the biblical stories describing the creation of the heaven and earth in 6 days and the redemption from slavery and in the exodus from Egypt, and look forward to the future messianic age. Since the Jewish religious calendar counts days from sunset to sunset, Shabbat begins in the evening of what on the civil calendar is Friday. See? Now, the only thing they got right about that is that we count from sundown to sundown, sunset to sunset. Everything else, Shabbat pronunciation And Friday is wrong. You see that? You see that? But a lot of times, you get brothers and sisters that say Shabbat like this, but you can even see the Hebrew right here. It's a Shah, a Ba, and a Tha. It's really Shabath. Shabath. Okay? The so-called Jews, okay, say Shabbat. Okay? Let's go to the other one. I thought I had another one up. Yeah. Britannica. Sabbath. Okay? You see how they have Hebrew Shabbat. Who's Hebrew? Is it our Hebrew or their Hebrew? Their Hebrew will have you saying Shabbat like that. Okay? From Shabbat is no V's in our Hebrew. Cease or desist. Day of holiness and rest observed by Jews from sunset on Friday to nightfall of the following day. And it's funny because you have Israelite groups out there that actually observe the Sabbath on Friday evening to Saturday evening. They observe it on the same exact days the so-called Jews observe it, and they say the same exact word, Shabbat, as the so-called Jews. Hey, we got the real Hebrew. We have the real understanding. We've been given the real everything from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So we got to act on it. Okay? All right? Let them have Shabbat. Let them have Friday to Saturday. We have the Shabath, and that comes in, all right, the different phases of the moon. Okay, the first day of the month. Okay, then the 8th day of the month, the 15th day of the month, the 22nd day of the month, and the 29th day of the month. Okay, those are our Shabbaths. Okay, or Shabbathium. Our Sabbaths. Okay, plural. All right, and it's not every Friday to Saturday. See how this word has a spirit on it? This actual word here has a spirit on it. When you think about Shabbat, you think about sunset on Friday to nightfall of the following day. Sunset Friday to sunset Saturday. Ours is Shabath. All right. Hope I was edifying. Hope you got it. Hope I wasn't confusing on it. All right. Lord willing, you get it in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Just wanted to do another lesson, our ancient Hebrew language. And the Hebrew word is Shabath. Okay, Shabath. And also when you go, one more thing, when you go to, you can also find a site, what is it, Hebrew Old Testament, or the Hebrew Old Testament, they have the actual Lashawan, okay, Kodash, and characters. But also when you go to the different Hebrew texts up above in this area up here, okay, a lot of times the Hebrew text will match what's on Hebrew Old Testament. All right. That's why it's good for you to learn these more modern Hebrew characters as well, so you can, kind of translate it over. Right. So right here, you see the word ha and then Shabath, because ha means the, and then you have the Shabath. All right. So remember, it says, remember the Sabbath day. Okay. Or remember ha Shabath to keep it holy. So even how to spell it is right up there. All right. So again, it's been another lesson of our ancient Hebrew language, the Shabath. Hope you were edified. Call Haloyim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and shalom to the elect. And as always, double shalom.